everyone, welcome back to Code with Poonam. It's day 62 of our 100 days of coding challenge in JavaScript. Today's challenge is all about finding a minimum value in every sliding sub-array of size k. So let's proceed with this challenge and we will move towards our VS Code. In the VS Code, if we see, we have our question along with the sample input and output, right? So what is the question? We have to write a JavaScript function to find the minimum value in every sliding sub-array of a size k. And if we see the input, we have what? Our array, and we have the k value as well, right? And in the output, we have been provided with an array, right? So we will have to understand this question. So for this, what we will do, first we will break down this question and understand as well. So let us come here and we will write here what? First, we have to write our JS function, right? So we will write here JS function. Then what is the next important line here? That we have to find the minimum value in every sliding sub-array of a size k. So this everything is important, right? So that also I will take here and I will put it over here, okay? Now, since this question is asking to find the minimum in every sliding sub-array, so we will come here and what we will do, we will define our function name as what? Find, we will write minimum in sub-array. This will be our function name, okay? So let me just write it like this with a parenthesis, okay? Now let us come down at line number 10 and understand the question, what it is given to us. So now let us come here and we will understand the input and output, okay? So in the input, what we have been provided, we have our array, we have the k, right? Now, in this array, what is being said, we have to keep sliding, right? And we have to take the sliding sub-array of size k. So, what is our size k? That is means 3, right? So, what you will do, you will keep sliding with a window size of 3. So, first our sub-array will be what? 1, -2 and -3. Then you will slide. So, you will go to where? -2, -3 and -4. This will be your second sub-array. Then again you will slide to the next element and what will be our window? -3, -4 and 5. Then again you will slide and you will have what? -4, 5 and 6, right? And after that you are going to slide again to 5, 6 and -7. Now when you are sliding it up, along with that, we have to find the minimum value, right? So if you see here, what do we have? 1, -2 and -3. So what is the minimum value? -3 is the minimum value. That is where you get here -3, right? Then now you slide, what is there? -2, -3 and -4. This will be your second sub-array. From that, what will be your minimum value? -4. That is what you have. Now, when you again slide, what will be our array? -3, -4 and 5, right? So what is there again in that? -4, right? That is the minimum value. That is where you get here. Again, when you are taking this particular array, that is -4, 5 and 6, what is our minimum value? Nothing but -4. Then our last window size, that is 5, 6 and -7. So what will be our minimum value? -7. That is why you are getting in the output like this. That means -3, -4, -4, -4 and -7, right? This is our output. Now we have to understand the approach, how we are going to get this particular output, okay? Yeah. So we will come here and we will write here what? Approach, okay? Now in this particular question, we are going to use our nested loop. So let me just write here nested loop. What is a nested loop? A loop inside a loop, right? Now in this question, we will be just using 2 loops. That means we will have a I loop and inside I loop, we will have our J loop, okay? This is what we are going to use it. Now I'll tell you why we need a nested loop here. Because if you see our input array, what we are doing it, we are taking our sub array, right? And then we are sliding it up. That means we are working on the elements, right? So we will take our I loop and it is going to iterate over the starting index of each sub array. So for example, this will be our first iteration, which is going to work. This will be our second iteration. This will be our third iteration and so on. So if you see how many sub arrays you can find here. So this will be our first sub array. This will be our second sub array. This will be our third sub array. This will be our fourth sub array. And then you will get your last sub array. This will be our 5, 6 and -7, right? last sub-array. So if you see here, our I loop should run how many times? 5 times, okay? So I will just write here what? 5 times, because we want how many sub-arrays from this? I will write here 5 sub-array also, okay? Now let us come here and let us write here our for loop also. So I will write here what? For let I is equal to 0, because it's an array and we want from 1, right? From here, so we are going to write I is equal to 0, and where it should end? I should end at 5, right? That means 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm saying like this, okay? So let us come down and write our I loop. So I will write here what? For, and inside this we are going to write our let I is equal to 0. Why I is equal to 0? Because we are starting from here, right? So that means from 1. So this will be I is equal to 0. And where it is going to end then? If we are considering I is equal to 0, I should end at what? Less than or is equal to 4. Then only it will be 5 times, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you count, it is total 5 times. So how we will get this 4? If I make it 4 and if I'm going to put some other input array, then it will not work, because it will have different number of sub arrays, right? So that is where we will have to write here some logic, okay? Normally what we put arr dot length, right? That means our, what is our length of this? If you see, we have 7 elements in this, right? So our array dot length will be what? 7. And if you see your k value, what is our k value? It is nothing but 3. So if you use here 7 minus 3, what you will get? You are going to get what? 4, right? That means exactly what we need here, right? So then what we will do, instead of writing 4 here directly, I will write here what? ARR dot length minus k. So this will give me always whatever I will be passing an input array, according to that it will provide me. So that is why instead of hard coding, we are going to use it like this, okay? And then obviously we are going to increment it, right? Correct. Now this is our I loop. So it will iterate now 5 times, okay? That is what it is going to do. Now here we are going to write our inner loop also, right? So let us come here and we will write here our inner loop. Now what will be our inner loop? It will be a J loop. And what it is going to do? Our inner loop will gather the elements from the current sub array of a size k. And then we have to write a logic to find the minimum also, right? So that is what we are going to do it here. So first let us write our J loop. So what will be there inside the J loop? So we will come here and we will write here what? Let J is equal to I. We are not going to start from 0. Why I? Because we need to slide along with our I, right? Or you can say we want to shift along with our I. Because if our I is at here, this will be our sub array. If our I is placed here, this will be our sub array. So we have to move along with our I. That is why J is equal to I. And where it is going to end? Now I'll explain you why I'm writing here I plus k. What is our sub array size? Our sub array size is nothing but 3. That means our inner loop, J loop, should always run 3 times. Correct? Make sure, okay? I will explain you guys now why I have written I plus k, okay? Now what is our sub array size? Our sub array size is what? 3, right? That means it should run every time 3 times, right? This is our sub array. So the loop should run 3 times. So our inner loop, that means our J loop is going to run what? Always 3 times. So if you see here, the logic which I have written, I will explain you with help of the iteration. So what I will write here, I is equal to 0, our first iteration, that time our J will become what? J is equal to I, then J will also become 0, right? Then what is our condition we have written? J less than 0 plus 3 I will write. Why 0 plus 3? Because I plus k, I is what right now? 0, and what is k? It is nothing but 3, right? What is the k value? It is 3. So I plus k, that means 0 plus 3. So what it is going to give me? 3, right? Then what will be our number of iterations? It is going to start from 0 and it will end at 2, right? Because we have written 0 plus 3, that is 3. So 0, 1 and 2. How many iterations? 3 iterations, right? That means 3 times this loop will run. After that, I value is going to increment, right? I is equal to 1 will happen, correct? Then what will happen to the j value? It will also become j is equal to 1. Then how many times it is going to run? So what it will be, j will be less than 1 plus 3. 3 will remain constant because I value is not changing. So what it will be, 4. Then how many times this loop is going to run? 3 times again. How? 1 to 3, right? Because it is 4. So again, if you come here, how many times this will run? 3 times only, correct? Let us come down. Now when I is equal to 2, so j will be 2, right? Then what will be our condition? J less than here. 2 plus 3, 3 is going to remain same. What will be 2 plus 3? 5. That means it is going to run from 2 to 4, right? If you count 2, 3 and 4, how much it is? Again, it is 3 times only. So I will write here 3 times. So this loop is going to run again 3 times. Now when I becomes 3, so we will come down and we will write here what? I is equal to 3. What will be our j value? It will be again be 3, right? Now what will be our condition? J less than 3 plus 3. What is 3 plus 3? Nothing but 6. Now how many times it is going to run? Again 3 times, right? Because 3 to 5 it will run. 3, 4 and 5. So how many times it is? Again 3 times. So I'll write here again 3 times. Okay. So for each iteration you are observing, right? Now when I becomes 4. So I will write here what? 4. What will be our j value? J also becomes 4, right? Now what will be our condition here? J will be less than 4 plus 3. Nothing but it becomes what? 7, right? That is what we are going to get. So how many times it is going to run now loop? If you see here, it is going to run 4, 5, 6, right? That means 4 to 6. Again, it will be what? 3 times only, right? So I will write here what? 3 times. Now when I becomes 5, the loop is going to terminate. So the loop will terminate. Why? Because we already understood in the beginning, I loop is going to run only 5 times, and if you count from 0 to 4, it is 5, right? So when I becomes 5, it is going to terminate the loop, and that is where is the end of the loop. But this is not the end of the question, guys. Why I'm saying is because I have just explained you how the loop is going to work, how the nested loop is going to work in this. Okay, now we have to work on our finding the minimum value of the sub array. Now we are getting our sub array. We are iterating over the sub array. Now let us come down and write down the logic to find the minimum value from the sub array. Okay, so I'm just going to write it like this. Now let us come here and we will declare here a temporary variable with an empty array. Okay, now why do I need this? Because I am going to store the elements of each sub array. So whatever will be our sub array, we are going to store it here. So I'll just write it sub array store. So we are going to store our elements of the each sub array into this temporary array. How we are going to do that? By using our push method. Okay, so we will use here what? Push method. So whenever we will use a push method, we are going to do that and it will get updated our temporary array. Okay, now what we will do, then we will come down and we are going to use your math.min method also. Okay, so by using this math.min method, we will find the smallest value in the sub array, correct? But we are not going to directly pass our temporary array. What we will do, we will pass it using a spread operator, and we will write here what temp. Now why spread operator we need it? Because we know that math.min method doesn't work on the array. It work on the numbers, right? So we need to provide the numbers. Now here we have an array, right? So what we will do in this case, we will use a spread operator to spread out the elements of the array. Then our math.min will work as per its requirement only. So then we will get our final smallest value from that sub array. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. So every time it will run and it will give me the minimum value. Now this math.min method is going to return me what? Minimum values, right? But if you observe the output, it is an array form, correct? So we will come here above our loop and we will declare an empty array called as a result. So I will write here result is equal to empty array, and we will come here and what we will do, I will use again push method because I want to push our minimum values, right? So we will come here and what we will do, result I will write here. Let me just comment it out. Result dot push I will use, and here what we are going to do it then, we are going to pass our minimum value. Suppose whatever the values I am getting, I am storing inside a min value. So that is what I am going to push it here, and then we will get our final result. So at the end of the day, we will consolidate outside our loop, our final result, and that will be having our minimum values from that particular window size, okay? And that is where will be our final output. So this will be our final output, okay? So this was our approach. Now let us come down and we will implement the same thing inside our function. So what I am going to write function, and what will be our function name? Find min and sub array, right? And let us quickly invoke it. So we will come here, and what we are going to write? Find min sub array, and here we are going to pass our input array and our k size value. So what is our input array? This is our input array, and k value is what? 3. So let us pass it to this. So I will write here what? Array comma 3, okay? And we will receive here as a params nothing but arr comma k, right? Now let us come here and we will just console it out. So I will write here what? Console.log arr comma k, okay? Let us test in the terminal also. So we will write here what? Node day 62 challenge, and we will hit enter. What we get? We got our array and our k value as well, right? That means this function is running properly, correct? Now let us come here and we will write our nested loop now. So what it is going to start? It will start with a I loop, right? So we are going to write here what? For let I is equal to 0, right? And where it is going to end, if you see above, it will end at where? I less than or is equal to arr dot length minus k, right? So this I will take it from here and let us put it over here, okay? So this is what we are going to do it. Now we will just console our I value, okay? So console.log, I will write here I, and we will write here comma I. Now let us test it here in the terminal. So I will write here what? Node day 62 challenge, and we will hit enter. What do we get? I0, I1, I2, I3 and I4. That means we are getting our values, right? And if you see here, how many times it is running? Only 5 times. That is what we have done here. When I reaches 5, it is going to terminate, correct? That is what here is also happening. Now let us come here and we will write our J loop also. So where J is going to start? J is going to start at where? J is equal to I, right? And where it is going to end? We have written here J less than I plus K. So let us take it here and we will put it here. And then we will write here what? J plus plus, right? And we will come here and we will just console. So let us see how many times this is running. So we will write here what? J, and we will put comma J, okay? Now let us come here and we will rerun it. So I'll clear the terminal and we will run at what? Node day 62 challenge, and we will hit enter. What do we get? See, for I is equal to 0, it is running how many times? 3 times. Can you see here? 0, 1 and 2. When I is equal to 1, it is running how many times? 3 times only. 1, 2 and 3. That is what we have done here. 1, 2, 3. When I becomes 2, it is running how many times? 2, 3 and 4. That is what we have done here, right? When I is equal to 3, how many times? 3, 4 and 5. Now we will write the logic to store the minimum values of the sub array, okay? So first we have to declare a temporary array. So we will write here what? Let temp is equal to empty array. And then what we are going to store? We are going to store the J values. So what we will do? We will write here what? Temp dot push, and we are going to push our ARR of J values, right? So that is how we are going to get it. So we are going to gather the elements of the sub array and we are going to put it in our temporary array. So our temporary array will hold nothing but our current sub array. Now we will come here outside this loop, and what we will do? We are going to use our math.min method. So I will come here and declare what? Min val, okay? And we will write here what? Math.min, and what we are going to do here? In this, we will use our spread operator writing our 10. Correct? What will our spread operator do? It will spread out the elements of an array, and then we can easily find the minimum value of the sub array, right? But now if you just console your minimum value, you will get it. So I will write here what? Console.log min value. Okay, let us see what do we get. So let us come here and clear the terminal and node day 62 challenge, and we will hit enter. What do you get? See, -3, -4, -4, -4 and -7. That means here it is storing And here we are getting the minimum value. Now it is in an array form, right? That is what we have done here. Now, since it is an array form, we are going to declare one more variable here, right? That is nothing but result is equal to an empty array, correct? And then we will come here and we are going to store that out, right? So we will come here and what we will do, result dot push, right? And whatever is the minimum value, please store it or push it inside our result, right? And then outside this, what we are going to do then? We will write our console.log result, correct? Let us write it here and let us come here in the terminal and rerun it. So I will write here clear terminal and I'll write here what node day 62 challenge and we will hit enter. What do you get? See, -3, -4, -4 and -7. We are able to get this particular output. So if you see, we are successfully getting the final output. So let us comment the all other things, right? So console.log this line also and this particular line also, and let us just test it one more time. So we will type here CLS and what we will do, we will write here what node and we will write here day 62 challenge and we will hit enter. We got our final output. If you want to see your sub array, you can console your temp also, okay? So I can write here console.log temp and let us see what do we get. So let us come here and rerun it one more time. See, this is our sub arrays. And from this, it is finding it out. So a temporary variable was there. It is holding nothing but our each sub array. Okay. And what we have done, we have used a push method to do that. Okay. Now let us come here. Now let us come here and just improvise our console.log statement. So I will write here what? Minimum values of sub array. So I'll write here minimum values of sub array and colon I will just write and we can just see in the terminal. So node day 62 challenge and hit enter, you get your final output. Okay. Let us come here and have a quick recap of this particular question. So if you come at the top, what was the question? We had to write a JavaScript function to find the minimum value in every sliding sub array of size k, right? And we had been provided with the input and output, right? What was our input? We had an array and the k value, right? And in the output, we have got our minimum value in every sliding sub array, correct? That was our input and output. Now we understood this question and we broke down here, right? So we wrote our function name as what? Find minimum sub array, right? Then we also understood how to slide it with a window size of k, right? Our k value was 3 and we kept sliding after each element, right? Like this, and this was our sub array elements, right? And that is where now we understood it and we wrote our approach also. And we wrote a nested loop, right? What was the outer loop doing? It was iterating over the starting index of each sub array. And what was inner loop doing? It was gathering the elements of the sub array of size k, right? So then how many times the outer loop is going to run? It is going to run 5 times, right? And for each iteration, j is going to run 3 times. That we have seen very clearly, right? Then what we understood, that we have to declare 2 variables now. One was our result array. One was our temporary array, right? Which is going to hold our sub array elements. So that is what we did using a push method, right? So we have written here the logic as well, right? After that, we used our math.min method to find the smallest value in the sub array stored in the temporary array. That also we have used it along with our spread operator, right? Then we came here and we pushed the minimum value into our resultant array, right? And then we return our result array after processing all the sub arrays, right? That is what we have done. And the same thing we wrote it inside our function also. We declared a function name as what? Find min in sub array, and we were receiving here 2 params, that is nothing but ARR and K, right? Then we wrote our nested loop here and we also declared the variables wherever it was necessary, right? So finally we got our result where it was holding all the minimum values. Then at line number 48, we just console the minimum values of sub array, and that is where we got our final output. And at line number 50, we invoked with a input array and our window size 3, right? And if we clear the terminal, we can see our final output. That is nothing but node day 62 challenge. And if you hit enter, you are getting the minimum value of the sub array, right? That is what we have done here, right? Then, so guys, sliding subarrays are the subsequences of the array formed by the consecutive elements. This challenge reinforces the use of nested loop and the array operations in JavaScript. Also, I will tell you why this challenge is important, because it builds the understanding of sliding window problems often used in the competitive programming. It also strengthens your logical thinking and loop optimization skills. So start solving this question now itself and see how you can optimize this question more as well. Okay. So that's all for today, guys. So keep coding, keep learning, keep challenging yourself, and I will see you tomorrow with another exciting challenge. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till then, thank you so much, guys.